So this is a resource that has been available to everybody on the internet, and I don't think a lot of people really knew what to take advantage of, or if this even existed. So this is called Uvo Scope, ygoscope.com for those of you that are curious, and this is the raw data that is being collected from Duelingbook. This is data from online ranked matches and singles for Duelingbook. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, basically we can look at what the community is playing and kind of do things. Now, I promise you guys my tier list. We will get to that at some point, all right? I honestly just don't want to sit down and film today, at least at my table. But I found this more interesting, honestly. Raw data and things is something I absolutely love. We'll talk about match cards and single decks here in a little bit with single cards. So, this is the last 7 days of data, and this was the reset for the new format on January 20th. So, basically 21st, 22nd, yeah, 20th for data. So you've got basically 2.5, 3 days of data here. So Altergeist, 2,071 count, 1313 wins, 758, win-loss 63%. All right, so a best represented deck right now, Altergeist. Well, you know, we knew that was going to be the case based on the numbers here. That shouldn't surprise anybody here. Now, I also see that Spiral's the second highest represented deck here at 1582 with 1,026 wins, 555 losses, 65% win rate. All right, that's pretty interesting data. Here. We knew this, right? We knew that Solid was still 100% viable without the Mirage Dalio. All right, quite honestly, Mirage Dalio's hit was it was a slap on the wrist very much for this deck. 835 wins versus 662 losses. 56% win rate as of making this video. That's interesting, but 1,497 people playing this, and this being the third highest represented deck right now. Interesting. Looks like Solid's literally still sitting exactly where it's been at like the third place deck in the format. Interesting. I also see that Orcust is still here. Well, they killed Orcust, right, guys? Deck's dead? No, the deck turned into... I'd honestly argue with the current iteration is worse than the previous one because the Rank Up Magic shenanigans, the Dark Warrior Turbo. But Orcust, 1292 here. 815 wins, 649 losses, 56% win rate. That's an interesting turnover for the generic public here. I see that we've got Subterror here. 1292 wins, or 1292 played, 846 wins, 446 losses, 65% win rate. A lot of people are dreading Subterror right now as a deck to play against. It's interesting, to say the least. I'm personally not looking forward to that either. Hero, 1,161 with 596 wins, 565 losses. That hot 51% win rate. I put Hero at tier 1 on my tier list. I know you guys haven't seen it yet, but I have this at tier 1. I thought it was like lower tier 1, but like this data pretty much proves that. BA, 863 BA, 371 with the 462 here, 43% win rate. That's disgusting, actually. And the deck's got the numbers for the representation here. We have Dinosaur at 745, 391 wins, 354 losses with 52% win-loss ratio. Now, this is an interesting one here. I'm seeing Danger here. Now, is this just Danger Dark World Turbo? I assume not. I just assume that this is an interesting stat here. But 708 with 350 wins, 358 losses. Ugh. Oh, look, True Draco's dead, right, guys? The deck is doing terrible. 461 played with 250 wins, 211 losses with 54% win-loss ratio. Danger Orcust. Oh, well, it's 428 count. It's not a lot, but 223 wins with 205 losses. 52% win rate here. Infernoid back down here, actually. 415 with the 216 win ratio. At least it's positive. Invoked Mech Knight, yeah. Cyber Dragons, sure. Magical Muskets, still seeing play here with 372. I assume that this... I don't want to phrase this. People are talking about Strikers. People don't think that Striker's good enough to win a YCS or top a YCS anymore. It's become a regional level deck because you're just Hayate Turbo with traps. All right, like you're a stun deck now. All right, so a lot of people are looking at this and they're like, well, quite honestly, like it's viable. 299 with literally a 50%. It's like 50.5% win ratio here because 150 to 149. It's not good. Yeah, and Thunder. Yeah, people are still testing Thunder. It's Titan Turbo now. Like, you look at this and you're like, ew, who would ever do that? I mean, numbers, interesting. It's got a 58% win ratio too, actually. All right, that's cool. The Triff Special, 270 with 123 wins, 147 losses. I just assume that's people not knowing what they're doing with the deck, honestly. Danger Spirals down here, Mech Knight, Mystic Burn. We're really starting to get into the grub of grubs here, I see. There's not Trick Stars. That's interesting. Shadal's eventually, Pendulum Magician. And then we kind of just start dipping down into the Monarch True Draco, really. I see Satellar Knights, but like, when you're this low in the data, you're like the 70 representation here. And it's not good. He even got Glads here, seeing some sort of play for ratios. Gem Knights people are trying. I wouldn't count anything too low on this pull, but the higher number representations for Guy Spiral, Solid, Orcust, these numbers, it doesn't shock me that this is what the community's going for. It's what people are looking towards. So yeah, this is for matches. Now, match cards. I always love this. This is the amount of times that cards are seeing play in the format. Wins, losses with those cards. So Ash Blossom, Extrav, Desires. Doesn't surprise me. Called by the Grave coming back into the format. More Nightmare Phoenixes. More Danger Jackalopes. Gotta love Allure Darkness being mentioned here. There's nothing too crazy here. This is all kind of stuff that we knew. But I just wanted to... peep this really fast. Yeah, there's nothing too special here for the data. Alright, single decks. Alright, so we've had heroes are seeing a lot of play in singles, actually. In singles, 328 wins, 207 losses, 61% win rate. Spirals, actually, here, too. Where's your Alter Geist God now? And so match format, we're seeing Geist to be more popular. Once again, Solid and Orcust holding down those consistent numbers here. Now, 1-on-1 format's like no siding and things like that. Don't get me wrong. I don't think the format's that crazy good, but looking at the data here, Orcust 446 representation, Geist 365. Then we start getting back down here to Subterra. BA's got a 48% win rate here. Ugh. Dinosaur got a 60% win rate in 1-on-1 format. But in 1-on-1, I don't see... This data is pretty much what we've seen. Just Hero has a higher representation, because when you're playing against Hero in 1-on-1 format, like, you don't know if you're going first or second. If you opt for blind first, Hero just mauls you over going second. So, I get why this deck has a higher representation, but nothing too out of the ordinary here for card numbers and representation and things like that. Oh, actually, card numbers. Same thing here. Ash, Pot Duality, Imperms, Allures, things like that. It looks pretty much what I would expect, honestly. Evenly's going to be a powerhouse, this format. But back on the thought of this here, I think this is a pretty interesting representation of what's going on right now with our metagame. Geist, Spiral, Solid, Orcust. Subterra, I think, is a little bit inflated, but, like, you can have multiple tier 1 decks for, things. So, a little bit of raw data from Duelingbook to kind of share with everybody. If you get bored and you want to check this out, like I said, Uvo Scope has the best thing for you. Current format. Yeah, it's, hello, guys. They've also got previous format data up here. I saw as well. Yay, so many salad decks. But once again, that's just proving that salad saw so much more play on here. Like, it's interesting. So, what do you guys think? Please, leave a comment down below to me what you guys think about the raw data. And well, I'm out, guys. Peace. The ride never truly ends. Thank you, patrons, for helping support the channel. Without you guys, I don't know if I'd still be doing this. And for those of you that like Cardfight Vanguard, FanCool40 is here for all your content needs. And those of you asking if I sell cards, mcoolgames.com for all your trading card game needs. Check the description for more interesting info. Thanks for watching, guys.